I love it. Okay, that's fantastic. Let's go on to our next thing here. 3 things I wish I knew before I started investing. A little bit of storytelling here, okay? A little stuff here. So right now I have one of these points is cost of setup. Do you feel like when you first started out that was something that you wish you knew, or do you already have 3 things you like better than what I have here, or
Yeah, what do
one
you got?
come
You
to your
got cost of
one come?
setup, appreciation for hospitality, taxes turn. Yeah. So
Right.
so here's the things. The biggest thing that I wish I
Yeah.
understood is the opportunity lost for not starting sooner. And so the compound returns that you get over time, especially in real estate or any investment really for that matter. And when I was younger, if I understood anything at all that I wish that I would have understood and really bought into and really like just internalized and like latched onto was the fact of how much it cost you to sit on the sidelines, how much it costs you to not be doing something and buying some assets or saving for that next investment or whatever it is. The cost of not being in the game, and especially when it's any sort of investment, if you lose 3 years, it's massive after a 5 or 10 year period. You lose 5 or 10 years, what that is, you don't know how detrimental that is to your portfolio growth and what you're able to do. And so number one lesson I wish I learned is the opportunity cost of sitting on the sideline. And you see it from, obviously if you understand it when you're in your 20s, you're so far ahead of the game. But I see people in their 50s sitting there and they don't understand that concept of, and then they think, well, I'll still wait. And it's even worse the older you get, right? And so that's a huge one. When it comes to taxes that you mentioned on there is being able to invest in assets and businesses that help us reduce the tax liability that we're paying Uncle Sam. It's a massive, massive lifetime expense. It's your biggest lifetime expense is taxes that you're going to pay, especially if you have any sort of success at all in business and your active earned income, and saying, okay, understanding that is such a massive expense that I'm paying Uncle Sam. And there's a lot of levers that you can pull on the business side, on the investment side, on a lot of different donation side, all the different things that you can do to be able to reduce the taxable income you're paying, but also grow your portfolio. Understanding that early on would have been huge, right? I mean, with short-term rentals right now, we're supplementing sometimes 60 to 70% of our down payments, from buying assets that reduce our taxes by that amount. You're almost basically funding your down payment growth. Or your portfolio growth and the down payments to grow that portfolio. And understanding that early on is massive, because when I was younger, specifically, the last thing I ever wanted to learn about or talk about was taxes. I didn't even understand it hardly. Like I just was, I'd go to the CPA at the end of the year, I'd pay for it. I knew nothing about tax strategy and didn't pay attention to it at all. And over the course of a 25-year investing career, and a lot of that career making a pretty decent amount of money, and be able to have a significant amount of that back to parlay into building that portfolio. I mean, it's I would hate to even go back and run the numbers on the loss of not being paying Uncle Sam and not being able to put that into my portfolio growth. And so really understanding the taxes as well side of it. And then the third and the most important thing is the importance of not bouncing around a whole bunch of different lanes, right? Real estate is a wide world. Business is a wide world. And there's a lot of different lanes you can run down, and all of them have their pros and cons. All of them have challenges on the front end, and all of them you're going to get excited about in the beginning, and then that optimism is going to fade and it's going to get harder, and you're going to think something else is better. The grass is always greener. And when I was younger, I would bounce around different opportunities, and that again, your cost of starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping, you never get far enough down the road to make massive gains and bigger gains. And the sooner I was able to learn to stay in my lane and stick in a lane, even though there's great opportunities outside of what we do, for sure there is. I'm not here to tell anybody that short-term rentals are an end-all be-all. We've just been doing it for a long time, and I've been staying in this lane because I understand the value of not starting and stopping anymore, and how much that puts a pause on your wealth building strategy and really the lifestyle you're trying to build. And so being able to say, okay, listen, I realize things are going to take a little bit longer. then they're gonna maybe I want them to, and being able to stay in that lane until they actually start to produce for you I would say is probably the third one. And you notice how they're all kind of they're all very similar, right? Between and the opportunity lost of sitting on the sidelines, the opportunity lost of not understanding taxes and tax strategy, and being able to use money you are already paying in taxes to put into your portfolio growth, into your business growth. There's lots of ways to be able to do that, and then finally picking a lane and staying with it long enough to where you actually build something worth talking about.
Wow. Those are really good 3.
Those aren't your
Those
three.
aren't my 3,
Those
but I
aren't your
like
3.
those 3. Those were really good.
Good.
That was some nice wisdom right there. Okay.